Thursday, August 20th, day 93, I believe. Yesterday we got to see and hike around Crater Lake, which was quite enjoyable. It was definitely, I definitely enjoyed seeing the lake, and the hike around it was nice. I definitely think the alternative is worth it if you're not, like, for some reason wanting to be, like, super purist or something. We probably hiked about 23 miles that day. It's a little hard to calculate exactly how far we went with the alternate and all, but we estimate it was probably around 23 miles. We then met up with the sport vehicles and did a resupply, got showers and all that, and we ended up staying at a campground near Diamond Lake, which is that lake you can see behind me. Today we got a slightly later start at like 9 or something, so not too bad, but not the best ever. I believe we plan to hike 25 to 27 miles, somewhere in that range. So far it's been going fairly well, and we found this peak here behind me. Yeah, right there. That one. I think it's called like Felsen Peak or something maybe. Anyway, some people on Guthook said they climbed it and they really enjoyed it, and it looks like a great peak to climb. I don't think we'll spend the time doing it today since we want to move on and get our miles in, but I don't know, might almost be worth coming back for. I did want to start doing like some more technical mountains at some point, and that looks like a pretty good starting point. So we encounter a lot of deadfalls and have never really videoed us trying to get past any of them, so we thought we'd try and do that today. So that wasn't so bad.
Oh, there it goes. Nope, not so bad.
Yeah, so not too bad, but takes a bit of extra time.
It's Friday, August 21st. Here we are at Wendigo Pass. There's a water cache here. This is our third water cache in the last 2 days. They also got a couple additional things here. They had a whole tote that's full of insect repellent wipes. So half of them are DEET and half of them are a natural repellent. And we thought that was really cool that they included both types. Mosquitoes can be super bad in Oregon. They haven't been too bad for us, but we did grab a couple. They have a basic first aid kit with some things you can grab. And repair stuff like tape, and they had like salt pills if you weren't able to get your electrolytes. And then they have a charging station, which is something that we haven't really seen before. But they have lots of cords and lots of charged up power bricks. They do also have over here some solar panels. They aren't getting any sun, although I suppose they will later in the day. And they're getting pretty dusty, so I kind of doubt that they work. But they said you could also use them to charge your devices or plug in a brick. So someone's plugged that one in to recharge after they used it. And then, of course, all the water and a trail log. We stopped for lunch. We've gone 9 miles so far today. We're going to go a total of 26 miles. It's pretty cloudy today and kind of windy. Out there behind me, you can see Crescent Lake. And we're going to be headed down that way. There's a lake beyond Crescent Lake that we can see, but I don't think that the camera can pick up, and that's where the next road stop is. But we'll go about 26 miles total today in camp, and then we'll have about 8 more to the road tomorrow.
Friday, August 21st, day 94. Today was a fairly uneventful day. I believe we hiked about 26 miles and we've camped at mile 1900. Tomorrow, I believe the plan is to hike about 8 miles to where we'll meet the support vehicles, and then, yep, just a quick resupply and probably back on the trail. Hopefully we'll make another 15 or 20 miles after that. Yep, pretty much just an uneventful day, not really much to report on.
It's Saturday, August 22nd. Here we are at a small pond. For the last couple of days here in southern Oregon, we have been encountering a lot of these ponds, and they've become our main water source. There are a lot of different sizes and a lot of different depths. They look a little murky, but they filter clear. I don't know if you can really get in a position to see this. It's really muddy around the bank here where I'm walking. But you can actually see all the way through to the bottom, and they're quite clear as long as you don't stir up too much silt while you fill up. And we've countered probably about 10 of these yesterday. I haven't seen as many today, but this will be our water source for tonight. We'll grab some water here and go about a mile more to where we'll camp. So this morning we hiked 8 miles, and then we met up with the support vehicles. We stayed at them for about 3 hours. We ate some food, got a new resupply, drove up the road a bit and got some cell service, and then got back on trail. We know that there is a fire closure shortly ahead of us, so one thing we were trying to do was download a map or learn more about that. Everything that we've read says that it's still that there's still a closure. I can't find anything that says how big the fire is or how much contained it is, but as of today, people were still saying that it's closed, but there's an alternate route around it. Right now, we're within like 3 miles, I think less than 3 miles of where the actual closure will start, and the air quality is perfectly fine. It's a sunny, clear day. There's no smoke, no sign of the fire at all. We're going to go about a mile more tonight, and that will make, I'm actually not sure how far that'll make for today. More than 20 miles, maybe like 23 miles for today. But we're going to go a mile more, and then we'll camp. And then tomorrow we'll start out, and after about a mile, we'll hit the closure. And we're just going to take the detour, the alternate right away. That says you can go, we could walk up and see if the trail is closed, but then if it is, we'd have to walk back to the trail, and that would add an additional mile of walking. So we assume since it's closed today that it's just going to still be closed tomorrow, so we'll just take the alternate. The alternate looks like it's maybe slightly longer than the actual PCT, but we don't really know. The whole time we're on it, we won't really know our mileage, where camps is, where water is, so we would get really used to relying on the GutHooks app that tells us everything. And we're just going to have to follow the alternate and see how long it takes. So all morning we'll just be skirting around the Lily Walden Lake fire.
One day we've encountered our first real fire closure of the trail, so we're currently working on taking an alternate around it. I'm not entirely sure how many miles the alternate adds to the trip. I'm pretty sure it's adding miles and not subtracting miles, so it'll be a little bit hard to know how far we actually go today, but the plan is to go somewhere between 25 and 27 PCT miles. So the alternate, as I said, may add a few miles, so it's possible we might actually do close to 30 miles today. Yeah, so the fire closure, I mean, the doesn't look like it should be too hard to figure out where the alternate goes. We're able to find some maps and stuff online, so hopefully rerouting around the fire shouldn't be that difficult. But I guess we'll keep you updated if we run into any issues.
So we just got done hiking the alternate or detour route around the fire closure. There behind me, you can see this end of the trail all taped off and warning signs explaining that the trail's closed and what the alternate is and showing a map. It's about 10:30 now. We started at the start of the tour at about 7:30, so it did take us 3 hours to go around the alternate. I haven't checked yet to see how many miles we bypassed in the trail, but I think it was only like 5 or 6. So there's a good chance that the alternate route was at least 3 miles longer than the original PCT would have been. And we probably lost about an hour hiking time doing the alternate, although some of that was probably due to route finding and just trying to figure out where we were supposed to be. The alternate trail took us down into a campground, and then it wasn't clear where to go through the campground. And then once we figured that out, it left us at a place where there was a lot of trails crisscrossing and Forest Service roads, and we weren't sure which one to take. So we took one, and it dead-ended us into a firefighters encampment where they were all set up with their tents and trucks and supplies, and then we had to off-trail about half a mile to the nearest Forest Service road. But then once we hit that road, it was pretty easy walking and just a matter of staying on that road. It's Sunday, August 23rd. It looks like we've come to a section with several downed logs in a row. We usually encounter downed logs pretty much every day, but most are easy to get over, and rarely do we have a bunch in a row. A little one. They're not usually too bad, but they do always tend to slow us up. Some we go over, sometimes there's trails around, and very rarely we go under. Sometimes you can see that some people have gone one way and some have gone another, and you can always choose your path. Looks like maybe one more, but that's most for now.